I'm Veronica Williams Dalrymple, and I am the coordinator for the Grant Food Bank and Soup Kitchen, and that is located at the Grant AME Church, 2029 Gerrard Street, East. Well, I have been a member of Grant for a while, and by extension, a member of the AME Church for a number of years. I was born into that church, and the church has always seen it fit to make an impact in the community. And one of our mission statements is really statements of really to feed the hungry. And so the food bank has more or less been aligned to that, that statement. Well, we have a range of clients who actually access the food banks. However, notably would be persons who are at what I would call either racialized, people who are immigrants, persons who are who live under the poverty line, who are low income family, who have lost their job, in persons in transit from housing, prison. So we have a wide cross section of persons who access the food bank. And presently, there has been an increase in persons who access the bank because of job loss as a result of COVID. And so we have seen a numbers increase. Personally, I would say that some of the root causes in Toronto would be persons who are homeless, persons who are unable to provide themselves with a proper meal, and a meal being a nutritious meal. Sometimes you do get persons who are able to buy something to eat, but not a nutritious meal. And so a lot of those people come through the food bank, and so we are able to provide meals that are nutritious to them. We also see persons, like I said, who are homeless, but not homeless to this, when you consider homeless, you think about homelessness as somebody who have absolutely nowhere to go. But sometimes people are in transit, and so they may not have a stationary place. And at times like that, we offer a cooked meal for them, and so they're able to have something to eat. People who have very low income, they might be working, but precariously. And so they are not able to provide adequately for their families. Or immigrants who have come into the country and are still looking for jobs and trying to provide a meal for their family and trying to provide a nutritious meal. So we do have a lot of different people coming through. We have people who are on government assistance, and sometimes it's not always adequate for them. And as we all know, when you look at food insecurity, it cannot stand by itself. Food insecurity is related to health, to poor health, is related to inadequate housing. It's an economic challenge. Food insecurity is really related to everything around us. Economically too, it plays out in the public purse, because once you begin to look at health problems, then somebody has to pay for that. When you look at the economics of it, somebody has to pay for that, And so when we look at food insecurity, we cannot look at it in isolation. I think it was in research showed that I think it was in around 2019, early 20, which was just recently, that 1 in every 8 household, suffered in food insecurity. And that is alarming right here in Toronto. It's interesting that, when you think about faith and you think about collective agreement with persons who have less than us. And, sometimes we have to ask ourselves, what would Jesus do? And if we are Christians and we honestly ask ourselves, what would Jesus do? We know that we have to reach out. We know we have to reach out to the less fortunate. We know that we have to give hope. And the food bank is hope. It's hope that tomorrow will be better. A society that will love one another, that will care for one another, a society that will treat everyone as you would like to be treated. That is God's vision for us and for us to work for society and with society. Engage your representatives in the area, do research, try to understand, look at resources that are available, talk to persons that are receiving the services so that we can do better and improve what we are doing, and take it up the chain so that it could influence policy. Sometimes, policy makers are not connected to what is happening on the ground. And so part of our collective is so that they could understand what is happening on the ground. And this can be done through, of course, community groups, communities coming together, because, one organization might feel, I am a small organization, I can't make a difference. But if collectively we join together because we all have the same vision and the same goal, then we can make a difference. One drop of water in the bucket may not make, a loud noise, but many drops will fill the bucket.